Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. As you guys know that we had discussed that in this tutorial series we are going to make an application, very basic application with Node.js. So we had identified that we are going to have an application in which we are having two routes. One of them will be localhost full colon 888 slash home, and one of them will be localhost full colon 888 slash review. So as you guys know that in our last tutorial, we had discussed in detail about modular approach of Node.js, and we have created a router module, and we had injected the same router module as a dependency to our server. So let's move ahead and try to run that out and see how it is working. So let's go ahead and node app.js. See, you see like server is started at port 888. So it's working fine from this area. And like if I'll go towards my browser, I'll write down localhost slash home. And let's see if we came here, let's see request is received for home and routing request for home. So you can see like we are receiving a request here, we are logging our console here and for home page, and then the same is going towards our router dependency, and in the router we are logging this request here. Let's go ahead and try it with review as well. And you can see like we are able to see that request received for review and routing request for review. It's a pretty basic and simple, and we can see now that we are receiving the path name until here. Now let's see from here how we can handle the request. For handling the request, we are going to have another module called handler.js. So let's move forward and create a file handler.js. In handler.js, we have to create, as we are going to have two module in the two different routes we are going to handle. So let's go ahead and create two module for that. One of them is home. For home, we will pass an anonymous function. In that one, we will say console.log, and we can print out handling request for home. Okay, same as it is, we can create another key value named as review, and we can see like for review route we are calling here route. We we once we when we call this function, that's if we are having a route of home, we will call this function. If we are having a route of review, we will call this function. So this is pretty basic. Exporting the modular approach, export handlers as a module, two different functions as a module. So let's move ahead into our app.js file, and we can import these handlers in our server file. Require, as you know, like handler is imported. So let's move forward and create one handle object as well. And in this object, we can say like handle, if you receive a route as home, so just pass the function handler.home. In case you are receiving the route as review, so pass the function as review. This handler, we will pass it as we will inject it as a dependency to our server, and in server we will receive it as a dependency, and from here we will pass this dependency towards our router, and in the router we will receive it here. So now here in the router we have handler available as well and the path name as well. So now we can decide like what we have to do. So for that, so let's proceed and handle the request with router and handler. So we can say like if the type of handle and into that is path name, we can say like path name is either home or review. So if the path name is defined, then we will have this type as function available. Otherwise, it will be undefined. In case of undefined, I will say that console.log no handler available for, let's concat the path name here also. In case the handler is available, I will say that handle path name and call this function please. So it's pretty much basic to call the routes and different kind of handlers on the base of routes. So let's move ahead and try to run it, break the file and rerun it. And let's go to our browser and try to run it for home first. As you see here in our console, request received for home, routing request received for home, and handling request for home. Let's move forward and try to figure out with review. So as you see, the handling request received for review, request routing request, routing a request for review, and handling request for review route. It's pretty basic, pretty fast, and pretty easy. Let's go ahead and say like ABC. So see, request received for ABC, routing request for ABC, no handler available for ABC. So what will happen here? Let's come to the code. So when our server is started, we will receive a request in this function. In this function request, we will parse the path name. The path name will be either home or review or ABC, anything. We are passing it towards our router, and this router is taking a handler. Handler is coming from app.js, and this app.js is saying if your home router is home, call home. If your router is route is review, call review. In case it's ABC, the handler don't know anything, so the function will be undefined. So let's come to the router, and here we checked, sorry, here we are checking that the type of handler and path name. Path name will be anything home, review, ABC, XYZ. So if it's home, and then it is defined function. If it's review, then it's a defined function. If it's neither home nor review, both of them, it's not a defined function. So in that scenario, it will be undefined. It will go to else and say no handler available for path name. If it's defined, it will show you the handler of name available for path name. So that's it for today's tutorial, and I hope you guys like it. Please don't forget to subscribe and like our videos, our channel. We'll meet soon, inshallah, in the next tutorial. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.